Most people set it to 2. So I like to do low latency, high quality. This is because low latency gives you more interaction with your stream, or like, well, there's less delay when you do low latency. And then high quality, of course, because that's what we want right now, high quality. That's get into recording. We're talking about stream settings here, so okay. Audio, you don't really need to down to 30, but if your computer can handle it, 60 is like that just makes your stream look really good. And with if you use the NVENC encode, NVENC is a really good one. Anyway, you want to just like make sure everything is 1080. Obviously, if you do 720, you only need to do the output to 720. Don't mess with the base canvas, just keep that at 1080. Or depends actually if your computer resolution is different. Well, just leave this how it is. It's like default, I think it should be at 1080, so be sure to don't mess with that. But yeah, output rescale, you want to make sure that is 1080 or 720, depends what your computer can handle. Same with this, make sure this is unchecked if you do 1080, make sure it's checked and set to 720 when you do 720. But yeah, make sure your bit rates also match what you do. So 5000 for me is a good bit rate for 1080 60 FPS. And obviously, if you do 720 60, you have to go down to, I don't know, 3500, I think. That's just on the top of my head. I could be wrong. There's a link in the description for all that. But yeah, make sure that's all set. And then also, I like to do the highest sharpening scaling because, you know, when you scale, you kind of want things to stay sharp. That's, again, it depends if your computer can handle it. Like, scale that down if you have to. But yeah, if you want to keep it at the best quality, be sure to make sure it's that. And then we go to advanced. There's not much here you kind of need to do. I just like to keep this, yeah, like no stream delay. Depends if you don't want people to like look at your screen, make sure the delay is higher. But I like to interact a lot with my stream, so that's why I keep it at that. And of course, process priority. Make sure that's above normal. High would be too much, I'd say. Since you want well, that depends on your CPU actually. If your CPU is like really good, you could do high, but I prefer to keep it at above normal since I don't want to waste too much CPU space on OBS.
Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome to Key.
This video actually has been doing incredibly well with over like 70,000 views in just over 1 month. So hopefully this video does the same. And before I get started, I just want to say be sure to hit that like button. But other than that, you can go ahead here, you enter the general tab, click on apply and OK. But since mine, you can keep it on the default one. It's not really going to make most of our streaming settings are going to be found. But once you're here, you want to make sure that you change your output mode from simple to advanced so that yours looks the same as mine does. And so since we're only messing with streaming settings, we're going to want to stay in the streaming tab. But if you do want to see like the recording tab and all that good stuff, then check out my other video if you are interested, because the link will be in the description below, and that's just going to teach you the best recording settings for OBS in the year 2017. But anyways, really in the recording that you're going to be editing later, then you can split the audio and then mute that part of your audio in your video editing software, whether that's Vegas, Premiere Pro, or really whatever you use. It's a really handy tool, but there's a pretty big chance that you're only going to need one of these. And next up, we've got the encoder. So you might have multiple options right here, but the one that you really want to stick with is just going to be X264. And I really don't recommend trying to change that up whatsoever. But from there, make sure that you hit the checkbox on the enforce streaming service encoder settings. And once you've done that, we can move on to the rescale output. And this is where I want you guys to actually really pay attention to what I have to say. And if you're streaming on Twitch, do not, and I repeat, do not stream in 1080p, no matter how much someone tells you that it's going to make a difference. And I say this because it literally is going to make zero difference on Twitch, because there are certain bit rates which you have to stream in order to keep up with the higher quality resolution. So if you're trying to stream at 1080p 60 or even 1080p 30, it's not going to make a difference whatsoever if you're going to be at the 3500 max bit rate that Twitch allows. So if you plan on streaming somewhere else like YouTube Gaming, where they allow upwards of like 10,000 for your bit rate, then that's when you would want want to do 1080p at 60 FPS, which would actually make a difference. Otherwise, just go ahead and check the rescale output button like I have right here, and from there just type in 1280 x 720, or you can click the drop down and pick it from here, but mine's not showing up because I have a 21:9 monitor, so just go ahead and type that in and you should be good to go. Anyways guys, once you're done with all that good stuff, what you want to do is make sure that your rate control is set to CBR instead of any of the other options, and from there we can move on to the custom buffer size. I already talked about the bitrate, just keep it at 3500, but lower it down if your stream is lagging, and that might have to do with like your upload speed. So I recommend having like an upload speed between like 3 to anything above 3 really, and then you can keep this, but if yours is lower then just go ahead and lower that down. And if you're not sure what your upload speed is, you can go to speedtest.net, run the test, and it will tell you your download speed, your upload speed, and your ping. But from there we can actually move on to the custom buffer size, and this is more of a personal preference, which really depends on how good your internet speed is, but I currently don't use one, so you can go ahead and skip over that if you'd like to. But for our keyframe interval, we definitely want to keep this at 2, and next up we've got our CPU preset, and this is another part where I want you guys to actually pay attention to what I have to say, and this section is solely dependent on how good of a processor and overall computer you have. And the default is going to be, I believe it's already set at very fast, and that's still going to look perfect, but if you have a super nice PC, then you would probably want to bump it down closer to the slower side, because the slower it is, the more crispier your stream is going to look, if that makes sense. And if you have a really old PC or something like that, then you can go down to ultra fast or super fast, but I personally think anywhere between is what I video that I've already uploaded. But if you're too lazy, then I've got a direct link in the where you would pick the service that you would want. Stream key, space, whatever your service provider is, whether that's Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or whatever. And then from there, just go ahead and copy and paste it into here. Pick the server that's closest to you.
Hopefully Terry Crews will be doing some streaming as well. And Terry, if you're watching, you're welcome. Alright, cheers guys. Thank you very much. Jump into the 21:9 aspect ratio stream 9. You would set that to this bit here to 3440 by 1440. Or you could output the and then you'd downscale by 9 in the advanced. I didn't really do it. So when you're wanting to set up a 21:9 stream, you need to add it in a game capture, which is displayed right here. So that's here, and need to be careful not to show you my internet history. And
Vai embora. Palhaçada.
Abre a porta.
Não tem um saco não, hein, Lajota.
Você trancou a porta.
Vai ficar do lado de fora aí.
Eu vou forçar essa porta.
Se você forçar, você vai comprar outra, tá bom?
Amor,
Já
vamos
que você
conversar.
é rico aí, cheio de dinheiro.
Abre a porta. Amor.
Espera. Já abri,
Abriu?
já. Pode entrar.
Que bom. A gente pode conversar agora.
Conversar o quê? Eu não já tinha falado com você?
Deixa eu falar do que, amor?
Eu falei que confiava em você, você ficou cheio de gracinha. Só porque o
que
cara
que
tem
eu
a voz
fiquei
mais grossa que você.
Ah, amor, vamos parar com isso. Ai, pelo amor. Eu sei, tipo, eu fiquei meio chateado quando você
Tá,
falou isso. Que
aham.
toda... Volta aqui, volta aqui.
Não, eu tô escutando, pode falar.
Não, porque toda vez de noite você fala que gosta da minha voz, que gosta. Filha, toma seu banho lá. Eu vou te esperar aqui embaixo. Vou fazer alguma coisa pra gente comer. Fazendo um bolinho pra gente. Menos. Peraí que eu já tô
menina,
indo.
tô te olhando daqui, ó. Vira
Calma,
pra cá.
tô terminando, ó. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Aí, ó. Terminou aqui, ó.
Eu sou forte, né? Menino,
Oi.
você quer me matar?
Bom dia.
Bom dia. Lajota, Lajota.
Ô, Becky.
Bianquinha, Lajota. Ai, meu Deus. Menino,
Oi.
você quer me matar?
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Ai, que sono.
Dormiu bem?
Eu tô meio com sono.
Tá meio com sono? Joga uma água fria nesse corpo.
Ai, esqueceu?
Eu vou de biquíni.
Hã?
Eu vou só botar um short, então.
Bota um shortinho que é melhor. Já eu
Olhar no
vou
espelho. Ah, mano,
É
tô de
porque, tipo, até a
biquíni.
gente parar lá na praia vai pegar muito vento.
Tá, deixa eu botar um... E aí?
Porque minha voz é muito fininha e colocou de Francisca.
Nossa, tá parecendo
Então,
Anderson Silva.
Deixa eu te explicar aqui, o Lobisco, ó.
Fala.
A Veraldete era
Aham.
homem, virou mulher.
Sim.
A Francisca era mulher, virou homem, entendeu?
Ih,
A
cara.
cada dia é um 7 diferente, Lobisco, tá não?
Não é
Aí daqui a
rua,
pouco vão perguntar assim, mas como é que você conhece essa praia? A gente rendeu um dinheiro firme aí, ó.
Aham, sei.
Já posso...
Ai, meu
Que isso
Deus.
aqui?
Será que é tubarão?
eu tô entrando em choque.
Ah, meu Deus, é o tubarão, corre! Corre!
Não é tubarão, não!
É sim! Sai da água, não, corre!
Mergulha pra tu ver, otário.
Não, eu não quero, não, eu já saí, eu tenho medo. Não,
Sai da água.
não, meu Deus, pula, garota, sai logo, vai.
Sai.
Tubarão, gente!
Sai, gente!
Ai,
Ai, meu Deus!
Ai,
Cadê o Lajota, gente? Segura aí, Oliveira. Lajota!
Cadê o Lajota?
Lajota!
Ô, Lajota!
Aparece. Francisca! Também tô, mas eu não vou entrar na água, não.
Opa!
Ai,
Onde
viado,
você tava?
Susto.
Que tinha um tubarão na água, você tá tirando graça com a minha cara.
Amor, ai.
Que
Nossa, eu
Ed?
tô preocupada com você.
É.
Nossa, que houve?
Quem mais que tá aí, ô 2K? Cola aí, Bia, vem cá.
Deixa eu ver.